thank you so much. Thank you so much. And welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Isn't it interesting, right? As we go into a new year, we all get excited about wishing everybody a happy new year, like I just did. And usually what comes with that is, better health, better finance, better relationship, more purpose in our lives. Well, today we have a really distinct opportunity to talk about what will you do different in 2026 to have the kind of health that you would consider better health or healthier New Year. So the timing is exquisite. It couldn't be a better timing than we have right now. It's a pleasure to see so many of you. We have over 400 people on this call. A lot of you I know very well. Some of you I don't, which is even better because that means we're growing in South Africa, and that's exciting. And I want to thank Leonie and Vincent for giving me an opportunity to present to you guys. It's always, I consider that a high honor. I consider that a high privilege to be able to talk to you guys. So today we're going to really dive right in. Before I do, I just want to give you a quick, my personal story and how I got to this. Literally, for the last few years, I've had a friend. His name is Eddie Mentori, and Eddie and Rose have been friends of ours for many years, and they were part of another business and did very well with that business. But they got closer and closer and closer to Manatech, they realized there's something about Manatech that makes Manatech special. And as things would happen in life, things happened with that company. Then they joined us, and they've been with us for the last 18 months. But from day one, Eddie always said, the liver, the liver. Health starts in the liver. And he gave me books to read. He talked to me about it. We had many great conversations about it, but we never connected the dots. Well, a couple of years ago, my mom passed away. I had, a very difficult 2024 personal level, and literally I gained over 40 pounds in a very short period of time. 40 pounds I did not need to gain. And then for the next 18 months, it was a real struggle to try to get beyond that, to drop it. It didn't matter how much workouts I did. It didn't matter what kind of, protein diet, high protein diet, carnivore, whatever. Nothing was really working. And my body was just not functioning the way it should. And you know that if you gain extra weight, everything else in your body goes, south in the wrong direction. And it was a real struggle. So that's when I decided to actually flew out to El Salvador, where they run a resort there. Spent 7 days, and literally in that 7 days, lost over 10 pounds. Came back, did the 21-day reset, lost another 15, 20 pounds. Altogether, I've lost over 30 pounds in that process from the highest weight I had to what I am now. And we're not done. And the beautiful news is over the last 3 months, I've traveled the world. I've been in the UK, I've been in France, we've been to Cancun, we've traveled all over, and my weight has been steady for all this time. And the reason is not just so much because I'm eating differently, but it's because I have a better functioning liver. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to jump right into the presentation, and I think at the end of the presentation, then I think that Darren will take you through some of the extra details. Again, I'm excited to be sharing this with you. The timing is great. So, and and I believe that you're going to find out from this presentation, even though we've seen these results, incredible positive results. Literally, that first group of people from which you saw this testimonial video, they are real people. We had a test with 80 people. We had 100% success. Anytime you can have 100% success in anything, that's what called my attention. But as we expanded it to now over 400 people, we still continue to have 100% success. Out of 400 people, I've had two people ever stop the program. One because he thought he lost too much weight too fast, and another one because their blood pressure went down too fast, which they had to go back to a doctor and have the medicine adjusted because the body was working better than it's ever done. The other thing about this is we wanted to make sure we were creating a story and a program that was very much aligned with our glyco-nutritional products. Because as you know, Manatech is different from every other company in a space, in a wellness space, because we were the pioneers to actually commercialize multi-glycans. So we wanted this to be something that also was very much a multi-glycan story, and it is. So now, when we speak to South Africa specifically, I will tell you that not only this is working all over the world, but this will have a very specific meaning for South Africa. I believe that this program answers a lot of the questions, a lot of the issues that South Africa as a country is facing in the area of health, wellness. So we know that this proven success that we have created in all these other countries will also be something that we're going to definitely experience in South Africa. Now, for South Africa, this is also what I would call a pioneering opportunity because you would be the only company in a space that is really specifically dedicating this kind of energy to the liver. Everybody else wants to give you a magic, pill, the one thing that you can take that changes everything. If it took your body so many years to get to the point where your liver is as toxic as it is, and people are feeling the consequences of that, there is never going to be a magic pill or a magic potion that's going to change that. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take 21 days. It's going to take some time to give your liver the opportunity to be able to do what it really is supposed to do. So we do believe that this has incredible potential and impact, and will have impact for South Africa. Now, we say that your liver is the unsung hero. And I have to say, having been in the wellness space, having been in the supplementation space for 45 years, I had never heard of, I'd never heard this statement that I just gave you right now, right? Your liver is the unsung hero of your body. And it's working 24/7 to keep you alive, performing over 500 different functions. That's why we believe that, especially as you start a new year, if you really want to start a journey of wellness, your journey of wellness starts with the liver. It's the master filter. It's a detox powerhouse. It's your chemical factory. You say, what does that mean? It means that everything that's chemical has to go through your liver. So that means even your supplements have to go through your liver. Your liver actually stores a lot of these major supplements and has it ready so that when you need it, your liver will deliver it. So outside of just doing things like digestion, your liver is also your medicine cabinet. It's your energy regulator. Your liver stores glycogen, which is the most effective way to release energy into your body at any time, because your body doesn't have, it takes a process to transform fat into glycogen, or it's glucose that it has to be converted really fast with a spike and all the problems that come with that. The liver stores glycogen so that when you need energy at the right time, it is there for you. It's also your number one immune defender because it filters bacteria from the blood and produces immune factors that will help your body to protect itself. It's also a hormone balancer. As we've gotten into this liver reset conversation with so many people, what we have found is there is a lot of people out there that are suffering from hormone imbalance, and they don't realize that the number one balancer of your hormone is your liver. We talk to a lot of women that are in premenopause, during menopause, post-menopause, and you're wondering, what's happening with my body? What do I need to do? Well, a healthy, functioning liver will balance your hormones. So the reality, right, at the end of the day, is modern life has overloaded our liver, And when our liver is overwhelmed and toxic, our entire body suffers, leading to fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, and chronic diseases. That is the last step of that process. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling fatigued, if you're forgetting a lot, it's not age. It's a toxic liver. That's what we say. Okay. So the liver crisis in South Africa is major, major. Okay, because you have many different things that are impacting liver health in South Africa. Let's start with alcohol. There's an alcohol impact. South Africa ranks among the highest globally for heavy episodic drinking. Now, we're not trying to be an anti-drinking group or anything like that. We're just saying liver is affected by the alcohol. When you put alcohol in your body, your liver stops everything else it's doing to work on one thing, how to turn that alcohol into something that's not going to kill you. So that puts a lot of strain, an overload on your liver, and it means it's not performing the other 500 functions that it's supposed to do. The second thing is metabolic crisis. 68% of women in South Africa are obese compared to 31% of men. South Africa has the highest obesity rate in sub-Saharan Africa. And that leads to many things, but the consequences of this metabolic crisis are things like diabetes. 1 in 9 adults suffer from diabetes, and it's the major driver is a fatty liver. Now, when we speak fatty liver, there's two kinds of fatty liver. There's what we call a non-alcohol derived fatty liver disease. And most people suffer from that. So you could actually be even skinny and still have a fatty liver. All right. So there's a very high risk, 87 risk factor of overweight patients having what they call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. All right. Now, the third thing is what they call the viral burden. 26% of global burden. Africa accounts for over a quarter of the world's viral hepatitis burden, meaning that the liver is being attacked by viruses and bacteria, and the death rate per 100,000 people is one of the highest in sub-Saharan Africa and twice the global average. So I'm making this point. This is not, to be a bearer of bad news, but this is the reality on the ground. This is the problem. Now, you all know, some of you obviously are here as the customer. You want to see this as something you can do, and that's great. But also, some of you are business people. Well, you know that if you can solve a major problem, that means you create a major opportunity. So that's kind of the message we want to give you. This is not just bad news. This is saying you can bring something of value to the marketplace. And when you do, the marketplace will reward you, right? And that's financial reward for solving major problems. So 4 major threats attacking South African liver every day, right? Ultra processed food epidemic. 50% of daily diets in most communities consist of processed food, high sugar, unhealthy fat, chemical additives, burden liver detoxification pathways, environmental toxin. Air pollution is the second biggest health threat in South Africa, from mining runoffs, industrial chemical contaminating water sources, forcing the liver to filter constant pollutants. Chronic stress epidemic. 71% of South Africans feel unable to cope with stress. High cortisol promotes visceral fat storage, which impairs liver metabolism. And then there's what they call the sedentary lifestyle. Metabolic syndrome is rising. Visceral fat, belly fat, is strongly linked to fatty liver disease, diabetes, and hypertension. The result, your liver is working overtime trying to filter toxins, process excess sugar, and manage stress hormone, all while starved of the nutrients it needs to function properly. So the liver does over 500 different functions, but just this is just a list. I compiled a very short list. the top 20 functions your liver performs. Number one, detoxification, right? And we understand why the liver needs to neutralize toxin, drugs, alcohol, metabolic waste product. Okay, glucose regulation, regulating your glycogen storage and keeping you stable from a blood sugar point of view. Fat metabolism, right? You say, well, why am I holding on to this weight? Why is it whatever I do, I can't get rid of the pouch. I can't get rid of the belly fat. Well, that's because your fat is not being metabolized properly by your liver. Okay. So that's one of the things. Mineral storage. Every day your blood is constantly being regenerated. So old red cells die, and then new blood cells, red cells are being created. But there's a mineral that's essential in this process, and that's iron. And guess what? Your liver is what stores iron and copper for blood and enzyme production. So every time you go to a new blood cell, the liver has to literally recycle the iron and the copper from the old cell into the new cell. Right? So that's all happening while you're doing other things, right? Your immune function, your bile production for digestion, protein synthesis, right? Which creates the clotting factors and immune protein essential for life. Vitamin storage, A, D, E, K, B12 are stored in your liver to ensure proper supply for months. Hormone regulation, blood volume regulation. Your liver is processing 1 to 1.5 liter of blood per minute. Think about it. You have probably about 5 liter of blood, and 1.5 of that is circulating through your liver every minute. That's how much the liver is important in your overall health. The truth is, when your liver is overloaded, every single one of these functions suffer, and that's why you feel tired, bloated, foggy, and unable to lose weight. And there's a whole lot more, and I'm sure that Darren will share with you this presentation so you can kind of see what are some of the other things that the liver is very important for. The problem millions of South Africans are facing is being tired, bloated, inflamed, and frustrated because they don't know where to start. Right? So if that sounds familiar, it might be that just your liver is crying out for help. So if people are suffering from these daily symptoms, persistent fatigue, stubborn belly flat, brain fog, poor sleep. I know Darren talked about sleep. Amazing what happens to your sleep when your liver is functioning properly, when you're eating right for your liver, at least for that 21 days. The pattern changes are pretty amazing. We've had a lot of people who have Apple Watches who've been tracking their sleep over the years, and they went from waking up 9 times a night to maybe waking up once or twice a night. That's a major thing because your sleep is what maintains your cognitive health. That's what keeps your brain functioning. That's what obviously gives you the energy to go the extra mile. Chronic stress, mood swings, digestive issues, skin problem, all these things have one root cause: an overloaded, overwhelmed liver struggling to keep up with these modern demands. So people are looking for, so the solution is a proven, simple, guided system that delivers results, not just another fad diet. So one of the things we just need to make clear right off the bat, this is not a diet. Weight loss is a great consequence of doing this program. It's a serendipity. It's the one thing that happens to you while you were trying to do something else. You are trying to get your liver reset. You're trying to get your liver detox. But the byproduct is that you will lose quite a bit of weight in the process, as all of us have. So the 21-day liver reset is a comprehensive health transformation system that combines cutting-edge nutritional science with practical lifestyle changes. So what is the cutting-edge nutritional science? That's Manatech 30 years, right, of studying, right, nutrition, of doing clinical study, over $50 million in clinical studies, human clinical studies, right? And going literally scouring the world to find some of the best nutritional components that are part of our product. So clinically proven supplements, a structured, easy to follow meal plan, because they, your liver actually, is the only organ in your body. Listen to this. This is amazing. Your liver is the only organ in your body that can actually regenerate itself through a nutritional protocol. So it's important then to understand what is liver friendly when you eat, what is liver friendly, and what is liver unfriendly. So what we've done is combine all of these liver friendly nutrition components to help your liver literally go on a vacation where it can literally stop being overwhelmed with just trying to digest food, to being able to relax and really focus on the major component of the liver, which is its ability to detox. Your liver has been holding all of this toxicity for years because it just never has a chance to stop doing the other things in order to focus on detox. So it just keeps it just keeps accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Now you can imagine that the end result of that is going to be a sick liver. And unfortunately, once you've gone beyond what you can do, then it is a very painful, very difficult process, as you can just imagine. So it's good to catch it early. It's good to be in preventative mode versus in reactive mode. Because when you have to deal with a really sick liver, your quality of life is going to be highly impacted, and the end results, the end of that story is never what you really want. So uh, then we also talk about a complete mind, body, mind, emotional reset, because a physical detox combined with mental clarity will reduce stress as well. And then let's talk about community. This program works because we have built in a community of people. In North America and Europe, there's about 400 people in this community where they interact every single day, where they come in. It's called the Liver Reset Group. And I know you have one too. It's on WhatsApp. And we talk in those communities. We answer questions in those communities. We applaud each other in those communities. So we keep people going through the process, because as Darren said, your first day, your second day, your third day, you're going to not feel the greatest. I mean, some people more than others, but in general, because you're craving sugar, you're craving, these processed foods. They're addictive. They're made to be addictive. All the salt, all the sugar, all the wrong fat, all that. It's like a cocktail of the most addictive things, because they want you to keep buying and eating those chips and those cookies and those things that have nothing to do with food, but you're gonna crave them. You're gonna crave caffeine. Some of you might even crave alcohol. I don't know, but going through that process. But after the first, second, third day, guess what? You start feeling better. But when you're interacting in this community with people and go, you know what? I don't feel so hot today. It's my second day. You're going to have 20 people go, no worries. Second day, I went through that. But I'll tell you what, by day 3, by day 4, by day 5. Now, as a business owner, understand that the people you're putting into these communities, your customers that are going to these communities, the community is helping you keep them in the game and keep them excited about what's going on, and eventually will applaud and congratulate them as well. So, and the thing that is probably the most important is that you're going to get results in 21 days. Now, 21 days seems like a long time, but you got to break it up in terms of the first 10 days and then the last 11 days. The first 10 days are a little bit more critical and a little bit more intense. And then the last 11 days, less intense. So really, it's a commitment to the first 10 days. If you get through the first 10 days, then the last 11 days are going to be great, but you're going to get results. All right. So why does our liver reset stand apart? Right? Why is this program different than most other liver resets out there? Number one, the science of glycan therapy. Folks, we have the secret weapon. We have the thing nobody else has, and it's glycan. So Manitech's patented glyconutrition technology supports cellular communication, immune function, natural detoxification, right? So this is not available in any other cleanse program. So what we found is, uh, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later because I think we're going to hit a little bit more on the glycans. Number two, the structured cleanse meal plan. Simple, adaptable guidance. Now, this is where we're gonna have a dance. We need to dance with you because you're gonna look at that meal plan and you're gonna want to change a few things. You're gonna want to add the things you really like to eat more than the things you don't like to eat. I understand. I'm the same way. I had to develop a certain taste for certain things, but this is my recommendation to you, and I know you're going to hear this from Darren as well. Stay in the plan. Why? Because the plan is proven. Anytime you wander away from the plan, it's no longer going to be, something that we can predict. It's not predictable anymore. Okay. So just stay in the plan. Body and mind, emotional reset. Okay. Because the community is going to help provide that level of encouragement and advice and guiding. You're going to have experts guiding you through this process, people that have been through the process, and also they will pick up on your emotions. Darren talked about being angry. My wife will say that's what I was for a few days as well. I kept having dreams of, I kept literally having dreams about food. I kept craving for a meatball sandwich of all things. But that's also, how you're treating your brain at the same time as you're treating your food intake or your supplement intake. You're literally working on your brain, resetting your brain. Okay. And your emotional attachment to certain foods and certain things, you're breaking those out so that you can start new. You can start a new discipline. You can start a new way of doing things. And only when you start a new way of doing things, you can expect to have different results, right? Because if you keep doing the same thing you've always done, you're going to have the same result. And we have a global wellness business program. So this is not just, oh, it worked in North America. No, it worked in North America. It worked in Mexico. It worked in Canada. It worked all over Europe. I mean, people from UK to Portugal to France to everywhere else. Everywhere we are in Europe, people have done the program. In Holland, a lot of success. So we know it works. And we've even had some South Africans already do it outside of Darren in the UK. So it works for everybody. It works for everybody, literally. And that's one thing that we know. That's what we know is going to work there. So what's the program look like? 2 phases. The day 1 to 10 is what we call your gentle cleanse. Okay. This is where we're allowing your body to actually release the stored toxin, right? So this is where your True Plenish shake, your single clean mono meals, and you'll get the actual program that we have set up for South Africa. Has been very carefully designed. Darren has gone over and beyond. I mean, he's worked quite a bit with our folks here in the U.S. to make sure we could adapt these things and it would still stay in the spirit of the reset. So the first 2-3 days, your energy will stabilize, you get mental clarity, and then your bloating will subside, your sleep gets better. Then days 11 and 21 is when your liver is literally rejuvenating. Your liver is rebuilding itself. Like I said, it's the only organ in the body that can actually regenerate itself through a nutritional protocol. All right. And so you'll be doing pretty much the same things 11 to 21. You'll be able to add a little bit more protein. And I know there's going to be some of you, you are bodybuilders, you do work out. The first 10 days, your protein is coming from your shake. So double up on the shake if you have to, double up on the lentil, which also has protein. But you may not be taking in as much protein as you used to when you are just, working normally. But don't be tempted to go change that, because then again, it may not have the same predictable results that you want. So this is our program in the US, but you have one that's for South Africa. It basically takes you to all of that. So the science behind the 21 days, people say, why is it 21 days? Can I do this in 5 days? I'm a super achiever. Can I do this in 10 days? No, your body needs there's a certain rhythm in your body. And we need to follow that natural biological rhythm for this cellular repair and the cellular turnover to happen, for your enzymes to upregulate, and for you to start building some new habits. Because a lot of this is also about your relationship with food. That's that's the root cause changes that you're going to be doing, is changing your relationship with food. So there's a phase of detoxification, there's a phase of restoration, gut barrier repair, inflammation drop. Those things are happening on your second week, and a third week is a metabolic reset, right? And this is when your sensitivity to insulin might improve, and the body adapts to burning fat for fuel more efficiently. Your brain, your neuroplasticity is also being affected. You're going to find your brain is functioning better than you thought. And the key mechanisms of action is obviously the glycans, the gut liver axis. What's happening in your biome in your gut is affecting your liver. And then there's another concept called autophagy, which is when your body is destroying those cells that are no longer functioning properly. Now, if you've done anything of any kind of fasting, 24 to 48 to 72-hour fasting, the key mechanism of action is autophagy. Same mechanism of action happens here when you do a liver reset. So the synergy in action, the complete South African product system, uh, you got the True Plenish for your essential amino acids and your protein. You got your GI Pro Balance for your gut, right? To rebalance your biome. You got the Mana Cleanse to help move the stuff out. And one of the things I will say about, and then you have your Ambritos. And what I'll say about Ambritos is Ambritos actually helps you more than you know, because as your liver starts releasing toxin into your body that to be expelled out of your body, it's very probable that your body will see that almost like an enemy attack, like, oh, I'm being attacked. So it might create an immediate inflammation response. Well, because we have Ambritos, that inflammation response becomes modulated. You've heard about up modulating, down modulating. Ambertose is a self modulating process. So it helps you to detect, first of all, those toxins so that can be removed, but two, it will prevent your body from going into this massive inflammation during the process. That is our secret weapon. That is our secret sauce. This is what makes our cleanse, our reset better than anything else that's out there in the market. So these products, and the obviously the along with the diet, the food choices that you're going to make, those are the things that are going to lead you to the transformation that you want. This is where people land once they've done all of this. We call it real result, real people, right? More energy, less belly fat, clearer skin, better digestion, mental clarity, better sleep. All these things are happening with the additional benefit of balancing hormones, reducing craving, improving your immune system. All of those things are part of the results that people can expect and people can look for. These are some others, stories. In the middle, you have Eddie Mentore. The reason he got involved in this in the first place was because at a point in his life, as someone who had been taking supplements his whole life, he realized something is wrong, something is happening to my body. He was losing his hair. And when he went to sit down with, normal doctors, they couldn't figure it out. And then he met this Chinese doctor who said, you probably need to look at your liver. And the minute he started going down that and learned how to take care of his liver, obviously he's a picture perfect of health. All right, so we do have a video that is a video about testimonials. I'm going to play just about a few seconds of it, but this is a tool that you also have. We just collected from the people that are in those communities, their testimonials, and these testimonials have been run through compliance, so they're compliant testimonials. But we got quite a few of them, so you will be able to get your hands on that video, and you'll be able to use it as part of the tool set that you need. Along with that first testimony video that I showed you, you can use that as a tool set to get people to obviously pay attention and want to be part of this. So this is perfect timing for South Africa from a business opportunity, because we're turning your personal transformation into a thriving business by solving a massive problem with a proven solution. There's massive market demand, there's viral growth potential, there's a simple duplicatable system, and you have first mover advantage. Be the first, to introduce this globally successful program to the South African market. So these global stories, you're going to find them everywhere, and we're happy to bring them to you. So this is a very local solution for a local problem, addressing South Africa's unique health challenge, from the heavy starch diet to the high stress urban fatigue, the rising metabolic diseases, the need for sustainable wellness. All those things are true for South Africa, and all those things make this program really even that much more impactful and that much more relevant than it's ever been. And the one thing I can tell you, visible results. We have found a way to take the glycan story and turn it into something that people can actually see some results. And that for us has been a major breakthrough when it comes to being able to bring that glycan story out to the world. So I hope you're ready to transform. Your next step is get involved, get started. Let's go for it, right? And the person who invited you will show you how to do that. Commit to your health. In 2026, as we getting started in 2026, commit to your health. Your health is your first wealth. Some people might say, well, it's a little costly. Well, compared to what? What do you think it costs to have a liver replaced? What do you think it costs to have to go through all these years of painful process when your liver is not functioning? So I would say commit to your health, order your reset pack, join the community. And when you're in the community, interact in the community, talk to us, let us know. If you have some testimonials, let us know. I think some of you are probably putting testimonials in the chat. People need to hear from you. They've heard from us, but they need to hear from you in South Africa how well this is doing. So let's do this together. All right. So healthy isn't a goal, it's a way of living. Let's make 2026 the year of living healthy.